Good morning. Welcome to my sewing room. It's August 17th, 2025. I want to take an updated video because quilters love to see where other quilters do their thing. I apologize in advance if I make you dizzy with all the shaky photography. If I skim by anything too quickly, or if you have questions about anything that you want to ask, let me know and I'll go into more detail later. Hopefully I can do this all in one video, but I'm not that experienced with YouTube, so we'll see how it goes. These are my strings. I sort them by color. As you can see, I have a bin overflowing that I need to add to the bin, so I have to make some string blocks to be able to do that. This is my fabric storage. I have everything in here except for one cabinet in my laundry room. I have some projects set aside. I haven't really started them yet, but they are self-kitted, ready to go. I need to take those out and reevaluate to make sure that's what I want to make. These are my string quilts. Most quilts I give away, but I do keep just about all of my string quilts, at least so far. Backing fabrics I got from Joann's liquidation sale. Some more larger pieces in the bottom for potential backings. The only wall hanging I have in my quilting room that's not spectrum or rainbow, if you will, is this one I made when I lost my golden retriever lab mix, Roscoe. I miss him every day. I sort my long arm thread behind my door. It keeps it out of the direct sunlight, but really convenient to get to. My husband gave me some nails that I stick in the top with partial bobbins. Really comes in handy. He's a DIYer from before it was popular. He's always been making things work for me, so I'm very, very lucky to have him. This wall hanging, I call it We Are All New York. I don't know if you remember whenever the nurses would leave the hospitals every day after COVID and everyone cheered for them in the city. This is kind of memorialized that. This is my regular sewing machine. I have it's got to be at least 20 years old, Bernina QE Quilters Edition. In the bottom of the cabinet is where I keep my, it's where I keep my fat quarters. I really need to use more of those up also. I need to use all this stuff up. These are my scraps. They're also sorted by color. Basically anything larger than 5 inches, smaller goes in the strings. And smaller than a fat quarter goes here. I also need to use these up. This wall hanging is from Palm Beach County Quilters Guild Challenge a few years ago, where we had to make something with a song title. And you can probably guess mine is Singing in the Rain. My daughter-in-law Lori made this for me a few years ago. It says, "My soul is fed with a needle and thread." Couldn't be more true. My husband put a pegboard up a few years ago, and I have a lot of tools there. That's my scrap pile from last week, which I have to sort by color, put them away. 2 project bins ready to go for this week's sewing. One is my regular project. The other one is to take to my Bee on Thursday. It's 5-inch squares and then make a hot air balloon design for kids. This is the toolbox my husband got me for my birthday this year. Not sure if you can see the whole thing. It has electrical outlets in the end. I have an extension cord attached to it. I can plug my Go Cutter in, and right now I got my phone charger plugged into it. The bottom drawers hold my Go Cutter dies, which is finally nice to have a solution for those. The Husky brand at Home Depot has the 24-inch depth, so I can put my cutting mat up here and use it as a cutting table. It's nice and high. It's also on casters. I can roll it away from the wall to sweep under it. Unfortunately, the ones at Lowe only have 18-inch depth, so they would not work for what you want if you're looking to get a tool cabinet. I keep my Go Cutter on the floor. pretty much out of the way, but handy enough that I actually use it instead of dreading having to drag it out of the closet. I save all my photos from Pinterest or wherever I see them into little photo albums. They're like 5x7 photo albums, so I can sit down and look through them. I'd rather have those than patterns and magazines, and I like browsing through them while I'm watching TV. That's my remote control. My husband put up a TV about a month or two ago. I haven't got anything to hide the wires yet, but I'll get to that. I really don't. I can watch it when I'm quilting, but I prefer to just listen to it for obvious reasons. And I can turn the TV off in the living room. My husband goes to bed earlier and just listen to my TV in here. My little bookcase, I mostly digitized most of my books and got rid of the others. On the bottom, I have some Publix ads and yellow book pages for foundations for string piecing. The middle shelf is the 2 quilts I brought home from the guild to quilt this week, which is why I don't bring many home, because that's my staging area right there. And on the top are the only books I do save, and a few designs that I've already drafted up that I'm planning to get to eventually. This is my long arm. My ironing mat, a wool mat. I keep my iron there. I used to keep it where I have the little quilt staged over here, but now I don't have a place for it, so I put it there, but only when it's cool. When I need to move the ironing board, which usually goes where I'm standing right now, to do some quilting. I don't store anything under my long arm because, as you can see, that's on casters too. I wheel it back and forth from the wall when I want to quilt from behind it with a pantograph. I have all my batting stored underneath it, but it's attached to the machine, so when I roll the machine away from the wall, it's not like I have to move anything out of the way to get to it. My husband, I think he used probably galvanized pipe, like from the top of a chain link fence, so I can mount all my bolts of batting under it. Just shove the pole in, open the bolt into the bolt, and easy, out of the way. The quilt wall hanging here is a Jenny Beyer. I think it was my first attempt at mitering borders, so I'm really proud of that one. And this is called the X Block. It's a special ruler. I entered that one in a contest, several years ago. It was judged by quilters who went into the quilt shop, and I guess if you had the most friends, you won. I'm not bitter. I enjoyed the contest. I just didn't have a lot of quilting friends at the time, so I don't think I got very many votes, but it's all good. I love the wall hanging, and I love Spectrum Designs. Up there is my Create, and I guess that's about it. Thanks for coming by.